Hey everyone, it's Jonathan here, founder of Driving Academy, and today we're going to give you 5 different ways on how you can try to reduce and avoid road rage as a driver. Now these skills are going to be good for whether you're driving a car or driving a truck, but we are training people to become professional drivers and get them closer on the road to freedom. And how can you be free if you're tied up with all these emotions of road rage and anger? Now, one thing that might surprise you, it definitely surprised me when we were researching this topic, is that this road rage problem is a lot bigger than what we actually think. In a recent study, it said that 82% of actual drivers have experienced at least one case of road rage within the last 12 months. That's a whole lot more than people are thinking, right? Now, to be fair for this study, road rage has a whole wide range, a whole spectrum of actual things that can be considered road rage, right? It could be flipping somebody off with reading between the lines, as you know what I'm talking about right over here, right? Or it could just be, hey, trying to nudge somebody, honking the horn, flashing the lights, just screaming. So it could be very minimal, or it could be very aggressive when you start swerving your vehicle to try to damage another vehicle or hurt somebody, right? So understand that road rage is an actual issue, and most of the time, for most sane people out there, road rage is not usually something that's going to make you happy. It's going to make sure that you're in a bad mood now, and it's probably going to put you in a worse mood later. It might feel good, or that rush might feel good in the moment, and all you're really doing is distracting yourself from the current problem that you're having. But if you really watch this video till the end, I'm going to give you 5 different tips on how you can actually reduce the amount of road rage that you go through, so you can live a much more peaceful life, much easier and simple. All right, so tip number 1 for how to reduce road rage is going to be practice positive driving habits. So what I mean, I don't mean like kumbaya and driving, because you need your eyes open, of course. Positive driving habits are going to be things like making sure you're using your turn signals, making sure that you give people enough space as you're changing lanes, make sure you're not swerving left and right to people, right? So especially in a tractor trailer, you are much bigger, which means you can't be, if you were somebody in a car who is one of those people kind of going in and out of lanes to try to get there as soon as possible, that's not a positive driving habit to actually keep going in the truck itself. You're going to piss a whole lot of people off. Usually you don't really know what's happening in other people's lives, and you don't want to even do that. So make sure that you keep positive driving habits. Communication is key. Make sure that you're following the law. Tip number 2 is going to be make sure you give yourself enough time. All right. So a lot of road rage happens through stress. And one of the biggest stresses when it comes to driving is, oh my God, I'm going to be late. Oh my God, I'm going to be late. Now, as a truck driver, this is a big stress, because that's what you get paid for. You get paid to transport products from point A to point B in a certain timely manner. Now, make sure that when you are doing your trip routing, understand that you're giving yourself more than enough time so you don't have to start stressing out. The whole idea of the game to reduce road rage is to reduce the amount of stress before you actually get into a situation that can trigger the road rage itself. So if you have enough time, you really can just chill out and be easy going. You don't really have to be triggered like you would have if you were time crunching everything and you were in a super high stress environment and you feel like you're in this pressure cooker until you just explode, right? So you definitely want to watch out for that. Tip number 3 is going to be avoid driving while angry or upset. So there could be something that happens in your life or something that happens to you. If you just keep driving and you keep doing that loop in your head where you're just thinking about the same thing over and over and over again, and all it's doing is getting you more and more angry, best thing for you to do for yourself and for your health and for others around you, pull over to the side of the road, get out of the truck, take a few deep breaths, and walk around the truck. What that actually is doing scientifically is it's changing your physiology. And when you change your physiology, you cannot have the same exact emotions that you were having before, right? Because there's 3 things that actually change your emotions. It's going to be change the way you use your body, change what you decide to focus on, and then change the language you tell yourself, right? So if you're going to be like, how stupid could that person be? And you're driving this whole thing and your arms are squinched and your whole body's getting tight. All of a sudden, all you got to do is let go of your arms, loosen up, get out of the truck, do a quick walk around and breathe. Now, when you want to know how many times to breathe, 6 deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. Not 5, not 7, 6 is scientifically proven to actually reduce your stress levels by a considerable amount, so you can actually start focusing on something else and get going the next way. If you watch till the end of the video, I'm going to give you a cool little chant that I learned. It's called Hopa Ono, and it's a Hawaiian chant to really reduce stress and to let go of a lot of the baggage that we're carrying. Make sure you wait to the end of the video for that. The 4th tip on how to reduce road rage or keep it under control is going to be think about worst case scenarios and what you can actually lose if you do engage in road rage activities, right? So there's a whole lot of people out in this world that are crazy. I don't really want to trust any crazy people out there. We've all heard the stories of actual crazy people dying because of road rage activities. And you do not want to do that over something simple. So really think about what's the worst case scenario that can actually happen if I do this. If I start flipping this guy off, if I start screaming, if I start swerving my truck, if I start doing whatever that is, like, could you lose your job? Could you lose your license? Could you lose your family? Could you kill somebody? Could you lose your own life? All these things are possible if you really play this out that much. So is it really worth it over getting mad over somebody you probably will never see again in the rest of your life? Just kind of stay focused on you and kind of just breathe it out and let it go. And tip number 5 on how to reduce road rage is never use your vehicle to engage in actual road rage, right? So that means we've all seen it. Maybe if you haven't, that means you're not from New Jersey, New York area, because we've all seen it here before, where you start using your car to kind of intimidate the other person, where you pull up in front of them and slam on the brakes, or you honk their butt all the time, or honking their horn just so they can't hear anything, or flashing your lights to them, or even going to the point where you're like getting it within an inch of them before hitting their actual vehicle itself. Do not do any of that stuff, because now all that's going to do is fuel more and more road rage. Even though it might feel like thrilling now because, oh my God, like your heart is pumping and things are going well, it's not good for you long term, and it's not good for your license, because the ultimate goal of getting your CDL license is keeping it, because that's how you're going to make as much money as possible with it. So if you start engaging in all this nonsense road rage stuff, it's not going to be good for you, and you won't stay on your road to freedom for that long. Like I promised to you, let me tell you about that Hopa Ono Chant that really is going to reduce the stress no matter what kind of environment that you're in. What if I was to tell you that there's only 4 phrases that you have to repeat to yourself or to somebody else to really put yourself in a completely peaceful state? Those 4 phrases are this. Phrase number 1 is going to be, please forgive me, I'm sorry, I love you, and thank you. Now the beautiful thing is you can put them in any order that you like. Depending on how I'm feeling, sometimes I'll say, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. Other times I'm going to say, I love you, please forgive me, thank you, I'm sorry. However you want to do it, whatever feels best for you. But the way to actually make this feel work for you, the first time I heard about it was actually through a Tony Robbins event. And they actually said to do it to somebody else, right? Whether you knew the person or not. That means look into each other's eyes and start repeating these 4 phrases in whatever order that you like. Now, what actually is happening is going to feel like you're releasing a lot of that heavy energy, a lot of that like trauma that you have inside there, because you're taking responsibility for yourself, taking responsibility for everyone else in the world, and you're just letting things go. This was actually really put famous. This was something that Hawaiians used to do for a very, very long time. But in Hawaii one time, there was an insane asylum, and they were thinking about shutting it down. So they brought in a new doctor to that insane asylum who knew about this chant, and all he did for the first 6 months that he was there would just look at the individual's files and repeat those 4 phrases, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, and I love you, over and over and over again with a heartfelt, nice deep breath, nice and calm. What wound up happening was just by doing that, the whole asylum culture started to change, and things started to get a lot better, because when he did that, he took responsibility for those other individuals that he was envisioning to try to help them out. So when you do that to yourself, it's probably the best way to do it. Put yourself in a bathroom with a mirror, look at yourself in the eyes, and say those 4 different phrases. I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, and I love you. Do that at least 5 to 10 times, and then you really start to feel something change inside of you. It's going to feel a little bit weird. Don't push it off. And that is your true self, because now you are opening yourself up to whatever God or divine or universe that you truly believe in. And it kind of gives you into that right mindset, never to get into that road rage again. You start loving everybody, and it's a great way to do it. So I hope that this helped you out. Let's reduce road rage. Let's keep you on the road to freedom. And if you want to get your CDL license from the best truck driving school in the entire country, you already know where to go. CDLDrivingAcademy.com is the best option for you. We have locations that are planning to open up nationwide. If you don't find a location near you, check out our Linden office facility in Linden, New Jersey. We're able to help out students nationwide. Thanks. I'll see you soon. Hey, thank you so much for watching this video. If you like it, make sure you hit that like button. Also, subscribe to our channel. It's really going to help us out. Click on that button. And if you want to continue yourself on your road to freedom, here's more videos to watch. There's endless amounts. Hopefully we get to see each other one day very soon. Thanks.